Hi, I'm Azadeh, interior designer and founder of Blend Studio. Materials shape how a space feels, how it works, and how easy it is to live with every day. This is Blend Talk Material. In this series, I talk about materials beyond how they look, how they behave, and how they use, and how to choose them with confidence. Today we are talking about tile. Tile is a surface material made in individual pieces. Unlike slabs or continuous materials, tile is designed to repeat. Tile has been used for a very long time, not only for decoration, but for durability, hygiene, and protection. Tiles are always installed over a base, which we often call the ground or background. That background can be light or dark, warm or cool, neutral or bold. It affects how bright the space feels, how clean it looks, and how often dirt or marks are visible. This is one of the most flexible materials in design, but also one of the easiest to misuse. Very important to understand, this is one of the biggest points of confusion. Tile types means what tile is made of. Tile size means how big the tile is. There are two completely different decisions. Tile type affects performance. Tile size affects how a space looks and feels. You can have a small porcelain tile, you can have large ceramic tiles, you can have stone tiles in many sizes. Understanding this difference helps avoid many common mistakes. Small tiles include mosaics and tiles around 10 by 10 centimeters or smaller. These tiles add texture and detail. They work well in showers, backsplashes, and curved or detailed areas. Medium tiles are very common. Sizes like 30 by 30 or 30 by 60 centimeters are flexible and easy to use in many spaces. Large format tiles include sizes like 60 by 60 or 60 by 120 or more. They feel modern and clean. They reduce grout lines and help a space feel larger. Very large tiles exist as well. When used correctly, they create an almost slab-like look. Tile size changes the feeling of a space, even when the color stays the same. Small tiles create rhythm and movement. They can feel lively and detailed, but too many small tiles can make a space too busy. Large tiles create longer visual lines and fewer interruptions. In smaller spaces, large tiles can actually make the room feel bigger when they are used properly. Proportion matters. Tile size should always make sense for the size of the room. Tile is always seen against a background. That background is usually a neutral color. White and off-white feel bright and clean. Beige feels warm and soft. Gray feels balanced and modern. Dark tones feel deeply and moody. Light backgrounds reflect more light, but show dirt more easily. Choosing tile without thinking about the ground often leads to disappointment. Dark backgrounds hide dirt better, but show dust and watermarks. Mid-tone colors are often the easiest to live with every day. Ceramic tile is lightweight and affordable. It works well for walls and light-use areas. Porcelain tile is denser and stronger. It absorbs less water and works well for floors and wet zones. Stone tiles is natural and full of variation. It needs sealing and more care. Glass tile is reflective and decorative. It's usually used as an accent. Cement tile feels handmade and bold. It has a strong pattern and needs sealing and careful placement. Texture changes how tile feels. Smooth tile feels clean and simple. Textured tiles feel layered and tactile. Texture creates shadow and depth, especially on walls. Pattern comes from repetition. Some tiles have pattern printed on them. Other creates pattern through layout, like a stacked, offset, or herringbone. Tile comes in different finishes. Glossy tiles reflect light. They feel expressive and bright, but show marks easily. Matte tiles absorb light. They feel softer and are easier to live with. Texture finishes add grip. They are better for floors and wet areas. Finish affects safely cleaning and daily comfort. Tile is generally very durable. Most problems come from wrong size choice, wrong finish choice, wrong grout choice, or poor installation. Grout matters as much as the tile itself. Its color, width, and quality change the final result. When tile is chosen and installed properly, it performs very reliably. Tile works best in wet and high-use spaces: bathroom, showers, kitchen, laundry rooms, and interior areas. Tile also works well on walls as a design feature, not just a functional surface. When I choose tile, the first thing I think about is size. Size matters a lot to me. I usually prefer larger tiles because they create fewer grout lines. Less grout means easier maintenance. It's easier to clean and the surface looks more consistent over time. Grout is usually where dirt shows first. So where there is less grout, the space stays looking cleaner longer. After size, I think about where the tile is used. For large areas like floor or main walls, I usually choose neutral tones. Neutrals are easier to live with. They work with many materials and age better. But I don't believe everything should be neutral. In smaller areas, like an island backsplash, a powder room, or a feature wall, I actually enjoy using darker tones. Dark tiles in small spaces feel moody and intentional. I also care a lot about how tile feels, not just how it looks. I touch it. I think about walking on it. I think about cleaning it. Choosing tile only from a small sample is very common. Ignoring grout color is another big mistake. Using too many different tiles in one small space can feel chaotic. Choosing glossy tiles for floors without thinking about sleeping is also very common. Tile looks simple, but it is made of many small decisions. Tile itself is not a trend. What changes how tile is used? In 2026, we see larger tiles, fewer grout lines, softer colors, more texture, and less shine. Tile is being used more intentionally, not just everywhere. Before we finish, let's answer some of the questions I hear all the time. Tile isn't better, it's different. Tile is practical and water resistant. Wood and stone brings warmth and character. The right choice depends on the space and how it's used. Tile can feel cool, especially in colder season. Radiant heating underneath can change this completely. Tile can crack, but most cracks come from installation issues. With proper support and detailing, tile is very durable. Yes, tile handles the spills well and it's easy to clean. Just be mindful of finish and sleeping. Tile works well with pets. It doesn't absorb others and it's easy to clean. Matte or textured finishes handle wear better. Grout should support the tile. Matching grout feels softer. Contrasting grout highlights pattern. Grout choice changes everything. Porcelain is denser and absorbs less water. For floors and wet areas, porcelain is usually the better choice. Yes, if it's poorly chosen or installed. Good layout, good grout, and clean detailing make a big difference. Styles change. Tile itself does not. Classic choices age better than old trends. Yes, very often, tile is practical, reliable, and supports daily life when chosen well. Tile matters because it works. It protects the spaces, it handles water and wear, it supports daily routines. When tile is chosen thoughtfully, it becomes both practical and beautiful. This series follows my ongoing journey with materials. I'll see you in the next episode of Blend Talk Materials. Don't forget to subscribe.